welcome back to my channel, According to Kat. If you are new here, please introduce yourself in the comments below. If you're returning, just say hi. And what are we making today? Well, today we are making home decor pieces on a budget using Dollar Tree and other really affordable products. But today, even though it's summertime, we are making Christmas crafts. Yes, Christmas crafts. We are doing a collab, Christmas in July, with some of my friends, and I am so excited to bring you some more inspiration. I will tell you more about that collab and giveaway in a few minutes. But first, let's get started. Oh, and if you want to know what supplies I've used, please check out the description box below. And all that being said, let's get right into the video. Starting out with DIY number 1. So the first thing I did was I used these Amazon stirrer sticks. You get about 100 in the pack and I love using them. Or you could just use the jumbo popsicle sticks. You can get them at Walmart, Target, places like that. These are 12 inches long and I am cutting them in half so that they are 6 inches each, and I'm just using some pruning shears to do that. And you will need 12 6-inch wooden strips. The next thing I did was I took these wooden box frames. These are from Michael's for $1, or you could get the ones from Dollar Tree and just sand them. But these are already just natural wood, so it makes it easier. I'm taking one of the box frames and I am just taking out the back, and the other one I'm leaving intact. I'm using a Dollar Tree sanding sponge and I'm just, sanding away any rough edges. If you're looking for these box frames at Michael's, they are towards the front where the cash registers are, and you can find a lot of dollar wooden items, which I love. Just taking off the hanger on the back, and I will use that in other projects. I'll just put that to the side and just removing the hanger. Again, you're going to leave one piece with the back in and the other piece you're removing the back. Just taking off the sticker. The piece that has the back will be the bottom of the lantern, and then right here you can see that will be the top part. Now I'm taking this Waverly antique wax and I'm adding a little water to it just to thin it out and make it like a stain. I love using it as a stain. It's not as harsh smelling, as well as it dries pretty quickly. Someone recently told me that Waverly is not going to be making paints anymore, and I'm very sad about that. I don't know if that's accurate, but I'm gonna have to look into that because I use them all the time. Now I'm just taking I think that's a baby wipe. I'm not sure if it's a baby wipe or a Scott towel, but I am just wiping off any excess. Make sure you get the edges and the backs. Now I'm doing the box frames, doing the same thing, and then I'll wipe away any excess. The next thing I'm doing is I'm taking this fix-all glue from the Dollar Tree. It's like E6000, so it will hold anything permanently. So I am making 3 dots, and that's where my paddle sticks will go. But I want to hold it instantly as well, so I'm just putting a little hot glue on there too. And you can see I will just hold that in place a second till the hot glue sets up. The other glue does not dry as fast, so you can kind of leave it on there and let it get tacky. I'll put a little hot glue here. At first I was going to put that on, and then I realized I like to do the ends first because then it helps me gauge where the center is. Now I'm just taking these clips. I think they're for sewing, but I use them for crafting as well. And I'm just clipping those on while they dry and set up. Doing the next side, the same exact format. I'll just do the 3 fix-all dots, and then I'll go in with the hot glue. Again, that dries rather quickly, so I work in little sections. And I will just clip that on while they are drying and setting up. And the middle one last. You will do this to all 4 sides of the lantern. And here I'm just putting on my last clip, and all 4 sides are done. Okay, so now I'm going to work on the bottom. Now this is a little trickier, but it still isn't hard to do. I went in with the 3 fix-all dots. And then right underneath, I'm just putting some hot glue, and I'm moving quickly. So you can see I'm just laying the top of the lantern right over the base of it, and I will just press those down just for a second until the hot glue sets up. And I keep standing it up to make sure it's straight and it's pushed down all the way to the bottom. Now right here you could see I'm doing the next side, and I'm just squeezing the fix-all glue right underneath, the same with the hot glue tip, and then I will just push those down until they are dry. And the next side. And just be sure you always work with the fix-all first and the hot glue second, just since the hot glue dries much faster. Now I'm using some Vaseline right here on the tip of the glue so it does not glue itself together. Now I'm taking a rubber band and putting it right around the bottom so that those can dry and hold in place. I do that with the top too after I removed all of those blue clips. At this point, I realized I wanted some feet on my lantern, so I'm using the Dollar Tree wooden cubes. They're really small and they're perfect for this. First, I'm going in with the fix-all once again, and then with the hot glue. So the fix-all is on all of those pieces already, letting it get tacky, and then I'm putting the hot glue on, and then I'll put it right in the four corners. Since this was an afterthought, I need to go back and give it some antique wax just so it matches with the rest of the lantern. Again, that antique wax is watered down. And now that this is dry, I'm going to take off all the rubber bands and get ready for the next step. So I'm taking the Waverly chalk paint in Plaster, which is a really awesome color. It's kind of an off-white and it's not as stark, and I'm watering that down as well, and I'm using a Dollar Tree chippy brush that you get in the automotive section, and I'm putting a little water on there and making sure I'm wiping off as much as I can so that I get more of a weathered white look, which I wanted, weathered wood look. And I really love how this turned out. Now I'm going to give you two options here. When I first thought of this idea, I was actually going to make a summer lantern, which I would have done the same exact way. And this is where the change is going to take place. Once I put all my weathering on there with the chalk paint, I am going to put on a handle. So my first idea was to use one of the nautical ropes from the Dollar Tree. Oh yeah, and I sanded this as well. And it just took some of the edge off anywhere I got a little too heavy-handed, and it made it look a little more weathered. Once that dried, I'm getting ready to do the handle. So here's that nautical rope. That will give it a summer lantern look. So if you want that look, I would go with this rope. I actually really love how that looked, but it didn't look too wintry to me. So I used the Dollar Tree decorative rope, which is more of that twine colored. I'm just twisting the end a little bit since it started unraveling, put some hot glue in there, making a knot, and you can see cutting off any excess and just making it big enough so that it will loop over. I always like to burn off any fuzz, keep some water nearby just in case something goes awry. Let's hope not. But I want to show you the difference if you don't burn it. Do you see the difference? It just gives it a much cleaner look, and I'm just going to put it right here at the top. I'm going to use regular hot glue. Normally I would have used a stronger glue with the hot glue, but I knew that I possibly might want to go back and change it to the nautical handle at some point, so I just wanted to give myself that option. I just held this on there a minute for it to dry, and that was ready to go. Now I'm taking some snowy winter greenery with a pine cone, putting that right inside as some decor, a Dollar Tree faux candle, make sure it's faux, and I put that right in there, and this is done. I hope you like this as much as I do.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean, yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the
moving on to DIY number 2. However, let's talk about the collab and giveaway. So the first thing I want to talk about are the 4 awesome YouTube creator friends that I'm joining. We're going to come up with some really fun Christmas DIYs. We're going to create a playlist and just hopefully give you some inspiration leading up to the holiday months. And I'll link everything down in the description below. Make sure you go check them out. But if you would like to join in on the giveaway, here are the details. The first thing is you have the chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. You need to watch, like, and comment on all 5 videos. The giveaway will end at 11:59 p.m. Eastern on Monday, July 12th. The winner will be announced on our community tabs on Tuesday, July 13th. And the winner will have 48 hours to reach out to Theresa B DIY via Instagram or email, and there's her email address. And if chosen, you will be asked to edit your original comment on Theresa P DIY's video to verify you are really the winner. I wish you all good luck, and the great thing is you might even have some early Christmas spending money. And if you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Kat. I like to make home decor pieces on a budget, and I would love for you to stick around. And remember, go check out the playlist below to see everyone's DIYs. Okay, back to the DIY. So the first thing you're going to need is a Dollar Tree wreath form. This is an 8-inch wreath form. You get 2 in a pack, but I have 1 left. Now I'm taking a Dollar Tree mop. I see these regularly, so I don't think you should have a problem finding these. I am ripping off the piece that kind of like holds everything together, the plastic piece. My husband did need to help me with it. I did struggle a bit, and it came out into 3 long pieces, and I needed about 1.5 pieces of string for this wreath. So I'm just taking some hot glue, putting a little bit on one of those metal cross sections, and then kind of just pressing the string to itself, and that kind of held it in place. Now what I did was I just went around and I wrapped it rather tightly until I got to the next cross piece right here. I put a little more hot glue, and that's the only time I really put hot glue is when I came to a cross piece, or if I was starting or ending a section, as in a section of string, meaning the string was ending and I had to add on a new one. So I just kind of went all the way around. Right here you can see this is where my string ended. And if you're liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And I don't know, I just throw those in there and they pop up and they get me every time. Okay, so I am going back and just wrapping that over. You can see I don't have much left to do, but I did need a second string. I do have a lot left over for another DIY project. And right here you can see I just added an extra knot right on the end so it wouldn't unravel, and putting a little hot glue right there on the back and pressing that in, cutting off any excess. And that didn't take long to do. It really didn't take long to wrap that around. I was just listening to some music, and no, it was not Christmas music. However, I was thinking about it. I kept thinking, should I put Christmas music on? But I couldn't bring myself to do it. Now that's done, I am taking a piece of scrapbook paper. I had a Dollar Tree 8x10 frame, and I'm going to join the 2 together. This is a gold frame, so this is kind of like a silver and gold theme. That's the idea here. Taking out the back, the glass had a crack on the inside, which I do find happens a lot with Dollar Tree frames, but that's okay. I wasn't going to use it anyway. I'm just using a simple glue stick. This gives me a good adhesion. Yeah, I guess adhesion when I put the paper right there on the backing of the frame. I'll just line it up right to the corner, and then I will cut off any excess with a scissor. And this just has like a script writing in gray, so I thought the look would look good together. I go right around with a scissor. Then I put the frame right back in. But now that it doesn't have the glass and like any inserts, it is a little looser. I'm going to show you how I'm going to handle that. I just put these little tabs down. Now I'm going to take a little hot glue and put it in all of the 4 corners, and then just press the backing into those corners, and that really did help solve the problem. Now I'm just setting this up, kind of seeing how I want to lay it out. I'm taking these wooden letters. Well, I guess it comes in one grouping. It says Noel. I got it from Michael's up in the front again. It was $1. I got it last season, but I had it left over, so I'm going to use it. It was not too hard to kind of break those out. I just was really gentle. It did break into 2 pieces, but that's okay because I'm going to glue them right on the bottom of that frame. And you could see I'm just filing those right down with a Dollar Tree sanding sponge just to make sure they fit together nicely, and you don't even notice it. Now I'm taking some Waverly Chalk Paint in Elephant, which is a nice dark gray. I'm going to water it down. You can see I don't even care that I have some dried up plaster in there. It's okay. It's all good. I'm just putting a little bit in, and I will add some dirty water. Putting that right inside. I will mix that around and get it nice and light. I want it more like a gray stain, and this is a good way to do that. Brushing that right on, and then I will wipe off any excess with a paper towel. Actually, it might not be a paper towel. That might be a baby wipe. I think it's a baby wipe. Either one. And then I kind of went back over it if I noticed any areas were a little light, and it's all good. So I'm taking this ribbon I got from Costco last year. I love it because you get so much on the roll, and it's a gold ribbon, and it goes with the silver and gold theme. I'm going to loop it right around my wreath, and then I'll just put it in the back. Now I want to see about using this greenery right here. I got this from Dollar General. It was $1, and I thought I like that little sprig at the top, so I'm going to put it right at the top of my wreath. I'm kind of just laying everything out before I glue. Now I'm going to use my hot glue, put it right here on my wooden letters, and I will lay it right down onto that paper. Those letters are super, super light, so they didn't need a lot of hot glue, and plus you don't want it seeping out. Press them down a bit. Make sure you hold the back because you don't want the, it's only cardboard holding that in. So make sure you hold the back when you press those down. Okay, there we go. Once I have my letters down, I realized I needed something in the middle of that wreath. I didn't need it, but I wanted it. So I took one of these Dollar Tree wooden snowflakes that I had, and I am just giving it a light coat of the same watered down elephant paint, and that will give it the gray effect. Taking a bit of twine, burning off any extra fuzz, and just looping it around. I will tie that in a knot. I wasn't sure. I made that a little long, but I wasn't sure if I was going to double loop that, but I didn't. Putting in a little hot glue, pushing that over, and then I'll cut off any excess. That kind of will just hide any of that extra piece that's off from the knot. I'm going to glue the ribbon onto the back, laying everything out. And that's ready to go. So now that I have my placement set up, I can see where I want to put my snowflake. I actually put it a little too high. You can see here I cut that string a little short. And then when I pulled down my wreath, you could see it's cutting it a little short. I wanted it a little lower, so that's okay. I'm just going to move it down a bit, and you will not see it because the ribbon will be there. So it's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. I worked it out. And now that I have that done, I'm going in with that little piece of greenery from the Dollar General ornament, and then I didn't like it. It was just not full enough, so I added some extra greenery that I had lying around right on the edges, and then I still wasn't happy with it, so I added one more little pine cone right at the top. And this is done. I hope you like this as much as I do.
Whoa, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh. La, da, da, da. Make Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new, 'cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of
Last up,
everything
DIY
but you.
number 3. But first, I just want to take a quick moment and thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. If you're not familiar with Skillshare, it is an online learning community for creatives where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Skillshare offers thousands of inspiring classes for creative people just like us on topics including illustration, design, photography, and even crafting. Skillshare is for so many different levels. You could be a beginner, a pro, or all the way to a master, and you will find so many classes just for you. I love that most classes are under 60 minutes with short lessons to fit any schedule. You can see right here on your screen that they're broken up into segments, so you could watch them in like 5-minute increments, or you can watch it all at once. One class that I took that I loved was building an Etsy shop that sells by Parker Guard. I thought it was really helpful because it gave me strategies that I could use when I open my Etsy shop, and it also gave me examples of shops that are successful. I'm so excited because the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity. So if you would like access to thousands of inspiring classes, make sure you check Skillshare out. And back to the DIY. So the first thing I did was I took this quart jar from Dollar General. I'm just taking off the sticker on the bottom. I got it last Christmas and I think it's adorable. I'm taking some Waverly Chalk Paint in the color Plaster, and I'm pouring some out into a lid. I love to use old lids and things like that just to recycle and reuse things. I'm giving this a very good coat. I will wait for it to dry and give it another very good coat. Now make sure where that raised snowflake is, you get in there real good, or you're going to have some places that are missing. I do not coat the inside. I do the outside and the bottom. Right here I put it on a little succulent stand that I had from the Dollar Tree. It was just holding it in place. And now that it's dry, I am ready to move on. This is such a simple, so cute DIY. Now that it's dry, I'm going to take my Dollar Tree sanding sponge and I'm sanding away right where the snowflake is. It was doing a good job, but I wanted it to go a little faster. So what I did was I took a baby wipe and sped up the process a bit. You could see right when I'm putting the baby wipe on it, it's just coming away so nicely. So I kind of went back and forth between the sanding sponge and the baby wipe, but I could have just used the baby wipe, or I could have just used the sanding sponge and went slower. But the two together was a perfect combination for me because it looks great. I love it. Now I'm taking this Dollar Tree pick that I had, a little greenery, and this Dollar Tree, what is that, twine? I guess it would be like, what is that called? Baker's twine? Yeah, baker's twine. And I'm wrapping it around the top maybe 4 or 5 times. I will cut off any excess and then just glue that right there. Cut off whatever I'm not going to use. And I just love the way that looks. Here's some greenery I had. I'm going to hot glue that right there and bend it in place. Now I'm going to use the berries right off of this pick, and I'm going to hot glue that right there onto that greenery. You just need a little bit and you hold it in place until it dries. Now I knew it needed a little something, so I decided to take some leftover string of that baker's twine. I'm going to tie a simple shoelace tie, and I will glue that right there at the top of the berries. And these are a little long, so I'm going to cut those down. Like I said, this is so simple, but I love this. So I'm taking a Dollar Tree battery operated candle and I'm going to put that right inside, and this is done. I hope you like this as much as I do.
Sleigh bells are ringing out by the sea, sending a message of love and sympathy. song will meet you at the door. This Christmas will be something unreal. Baby, I'm falling.
And here we are at the final reveal, my favorite part of the video, because we get to recap everything we just made. So the first thing we made was this wooden lantern with some stir sticks, and I just love how rustic it is, and I love that you can also make it summery and make a summer lantern. Then we made the Noel mop wreath. I've made a mop wreath before, but this one looks really different, and I love that it's on the frame. And then last up, we have the snowflake glass jar with the candle and the greenery and berries, and I just love the look of this. So tell me, which one is your favorite? I'm gonna go with the lantern. I always love a good wooden lantern, but I will tell you the glass jar was a close second. Make sure you go check out my friends. Thanks, guys. So that's it. That's the end of my video. I hope you liked everything you saw here today, and I hope it inspires you to make something of your own. If you have not checked me out at Instagram over at Cat Luna Designs, please do so. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love if you did. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye! Hi, welcome. Okay, hold on. Hi, welcome back to my Alright. No. Hi. We are bringing you some inspiration using Christmas DIYs. No. I really hope you would. Nah. No, don't say that. So, it is Christmas time. It is not Christmas time. It is not Christmas time. It's not. It's summer, and I'm sweltering in this shirt. Today we are doing something a little different. I can't get it right.